And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we're getting set for putting together our Season 7 Mobil1 Cup Series Chase Field at the end of today's event here at Kansas Speedway. We've already got our Truck Series field put together, with the exception of the Last Chance Qualifier, which we'll be getting in via next weekend's race at Talladega. But we do know, basically, for the most part, who's going to battle it out for the Oil Truck Series Championship. Now we got to find out who's going to battle it out for the Mobil1 Cup Series Championship, and then tomorrow, the Snickers Cup Series Championship. We're getting ready today for the run of the Kelloggs Flakes 350, and on the pole position is going to be George Roque. Now, Roque was a former winner this season. He won back at Champs-Élysées, and even though he's 36th in points, if he can pick up a second win here today, or if he wins in general, he would get himself into the All-Star race. Alongside of him is Austin LaPlante, trying to go for back-to-back Mobil1 Cup Series championships. Just yesterday, he made the Truck Series chase for the championship. He'd love to be able to make 2 for 2 as far as chase attempts, as he comes into this race 9th in the point stands. He and Dylan Schwallenberg, who are 9th and 10th, are actually tied with 457 points apiece. So both he and Schwallenberg are in very, very testy waters in today's event. Then we're going to take a look here at the point stands. We already know that pretty much 3 drivers have locked themselves into the chase already. Sean Galligan, Zach Rogers, and Luke Walker. I would say also that maybe, just maybe, Cody Lamas and Drew Austin, the 2 Kyle Busch Motorsports machines, they may be in a good spot as well because they both have 2 wins, and we know that Sean Galligan cannot mathematically fall outside the top 10 in points. So if Cody Lamas, who comes in 8th in the standings, falls outside the top 10, he would still have 2 wins to fall back on. Then Drew Austin would have to hope that somebody ahead of him in points that has a win does not win here today. And right now, the only 2 people I'm seeing that have that eligibility to do that are Austin LaPlante and James Silverfox. But Drew Austin, with his 2 wins, could possibly still make it into a wild card position. But we'll have to see how the cards fall at the end of today's race. So Galligan, Zach Rogers, Luke Walker, they can come in, finish wherever they want to. They will still make the chase. It doesn't matter. Here's where it starts to get interesting. From Madison Sieber, 4th in points on down. You got Sieber. She is currently only 13 points ahead of 10th in the standings. Cassandra Renzi is only 8 points ahead of 10th in points. Same for James Qualls, who's 6th in standings. Bob Jones is only 7 points ahead of 10th. Cody Lamas is only 7 points ahead of 10th. And then, of course, Austin LaPlante and Dylan Schwallenberg, 9th and 10th in points. They're tied up, as I said. So this is going to be really, really close. You thought that the Truck Series race, where they were really close there from about 8th position on down through 13th, that was close, and with a lot of jostling for drivers trying to get up inside the top 10 and stay up there. It's going to be really, really good here today. A couple of the drivers to watch that could try and make their way into the top 10 include James Silverfox in the 34. He's 11th in the point stands, only 5 points out of 10th place. Kyle Corbett, he is only 18 points out of 10th. He's 12th in points. Chris Washer, only 21 points out of 10th. He's 13th in points. And then the other 2 long shots are Joshua Collard, 14th in points. He is a total of, I believe it's 29 points back from the 10th place in points. And Joshua Michaels is a total of 37 points back. He is really a long shot, but it is still possible for him mathematically to make it if Dylan Schwallenberg or Austin LaPlante run into trouble here today. But I think it's time to get these cars rolling off. As they do that, we'll show you the starting grid at the top of your screen. And while they do that, we will talk a little bit about where some of these drivers that are trying to make their way inside the top 10 or trying to stay inside the top 10 in points, where they're going to be starting. Let's find first Cassandra Renzi. As we said, with her only 8 points ahead of 10th place. There she is, not starting too far behind of Dylan Schwallenberg. Bob Jones right behind her as well, so they're starting just around mid-pack. There's Madison Sieber. She's just behind Bob Jones. Where is Cody Lamas? There he is, right alongside of Ian Dunn. It looks like he's closer to the rear of the field here. So he's going to have to work his way up through the pack there. There's the long shot, Joshua Michaels, having to do it from the 41st position. And there's Drew Austin. We were talking about him getting a possible wild card spot. Actually, I'm sorry. Michaels is starting from 39th. Drew Austin is starting in dead last. But we're getting ready to go to green. We'll document with the rest of those drivers we were talking about here before we got going, where they're running in just a moment. As the green flag's ready to come out, George Roque trying to pick up his 2nd win of the season, maybe clinch a wild card spot. Green flag is out. And already they're starting to get a little testy back there. I saw Chris Washer get moved way up to the high side. It looks like they're going to remain 2 by 2 up here at the front. Remember when they went 3 wide in the Truck Series race early on, it caused a big wreck, and it was the deciding factor between Jamie DeFelu missing the chase for the championship over in that series. As Roque pulls away, here comes Charles Sanford to the bottom. His driver, Gene Sanford, making the Oreo Truck Series chase for the championship. Now, if Charles Sanford wins this race, automatically he gets into the chase for the championship. That's how it works here in this race with the way that you guys voted. And oh boy, Luke Walker. I said it didn't really depend where he finishes, but I don't think he has to take it that seriously. He went 3 wide there with a lot of possible championship contenders. Schwallenberg, Cassandra Renzi, and Austin LaPlante. And it looks like they're all going to settle it out there, fortunately. There's Renzi. Renzi basically has to stay up here inside the top 10 in order to make sure that she's not going to fall outside the top 10 in points. Same for Schwallenberg. So let's try and find James Silverfox in the 34. He's the first driver trying to work his way into the top 10. Oh, he's in a hornet's nest. Look back here. Drew Austin, James Qualls, Pote, Collard, Zach Rogers, Lawler, Wood, Dunham, Jackson. They're 3 by 3 back here at the rear of the field. Just up ahead there, points leader Sean Galligan is trying to cut his way through traffic. And now Silverfox working underneath of James McLeod. That, I believe, has moved him up to 28th place. That is indeed the case. So Silverfox, right now, the car he's looking for is either the 18 or the 6. He is ahead of Cody Lamas, too. And whoa, Bob Jones bailing out of the throttle there. He got kicked way up to the high side. There's Chris Washer in the 18. Or not in the 18. What am I saying? That's a 14 car. He's in a bit of a tussle back here with Ian Dutta and company. Harrison Langford, Kyle Matthews, a lot of rookies actually right around in this area. And the points leader, Sean Galligan, right behind him. That's got to be a rather precarious situation. Oh, look out. Oh, not 4 wide. Get off each other. Langford's into the wall with Corbett. Harrison Langford into the fence with the 42. And they're still wrecking. Zach Rogers around. Bob Jones around. I saw Trent Dunham spinning as well. Mason Wood and Dylan Poteet. And they're back into each other now. And there's one driver that just got involved, Bob Jones, who is only 7 points ahead of 10th in the standings. He's 6th or 7th in points, and now he's got damage. There's Wood, Pote, Dunham, Langford is smoking, caution is out. And the one driver who probably did not want to see that was George Roque. He was checking out from the rest of the field, and they weren't really doing a good job of running him down. He was enjoying that little bit of an advantage, but now everybody comes right to his back door again. It's Renzi second, Schwallenberg, Lyndon Wright, Jake Rogers. That's the top 5. It looks like they will come down pit road this time, perhaps. Well, I'll tell you what. Jamie DeFelu was the driver with the big question mark over his head in yesterday's Truck Series race. It could possibly be Bob Jones who has the big question mark this time. As they are coming to pit road, is anyone going to roll the dice and stay out? Doesn't look like it. As Mason Wood, Dylan Poteet, they're already on pit road. Obviously to repair the damage from that incident there. Let's see if these drivers will go with tires and fuel right now in an attempt to maybe make it the rest of the way if we go clean and green to the checkers. We're watching the leader, George Roque, come down into his first pit stall here. The benefit of getting the pole for today's race. They will go with at least right side tires. There's Austin LaPlante coming down. It took him a long time to get down here. He must have lost a ton of spots under that green flag run. And look at Levi McIntyre. It may have been a 2-tire stop for the 99. He's trying to get off pit road first. Here comes Sanford. They're going to beat the 7 car off pit road. So too is Dylan Schwallenberg. 3 Toyotas, 1, 2, 3 off pit road. The 11, the 99, and the 18. Interesting strategy there. Lyndon Wright came out 4th and McCrory 5th. There's Roque. Went from 1st to 6th off of pit road. But I think these guys may have gone with 2-tire stops because Sanford, especially Levi McIntyre and also Dylan Schwallenberg, they got off pit road much faster than Roque did. But we're under the caution for the first time here today at Kansas. Let's take a look back at what happened. Looks like they tried going 4 wide here at Kansas, and that's a no-no. And here's a look at it. I saw the 60 and the 42 rubbing doors in this corner. I knew it wasn't going to be good, but then Kyle Matthews is going to move Ian Dutta up. Dutta then comes up, gets into the 60 of Langford. Langford comes up, and there's just nothing anybody can really do. Just not enough room for everyone to maneuver. And let's see exactly how Dylan Poteet and others get involved here. Oh, there it is right there. Mason Wood running into the back of the slower machine of Kyle Corbett. He tries to hang on to it, but he comes down to Bob Jones. There's Trent Dunham involved. Zach Rogers. He's already clinched himself a spot in the chase, but he gets involved. And who does Poteet hit? I think Poteet may get into the spinning Trent Dunham machine here. Right there. Head on into the nose of the Bass Pro Shop Chevy. And then there you see Langford and then Bob Jones, another hit for good measure into the back of the Fastenal Ford Mustang. But that was at the rear of the field. They did a good job in the middle of the pack there when they were 3x3x3 keeping it together. But here at the rear of the field, I guess just got a little too anxious, was getting tired to run at the back, and some evasive moves made, and it's going to tear up quite a few good race cars here. As the caution flag is out, let's head back now for the restart. Lights are out top. The pace car will go back to green. Mason Wood will continue. So will Dylan Poteet, but they line up on the inside line 1 lap down. Underneath the new leader, Charles Sanford, whose team got him off pit road first. Now, Sanford's driver, Gene Sanford, we said, made the chase in the Truck Series race yesterday. Charles Sanford has an opportunity to get the 55 in the chase in the Snickers Cup Series race tomorrow. If he wins here today, there's a potential that a Sanford could represent in every single chase this season. But he's got Levi McIntyre right behind him. Right behind him, Dylan Schwallenberg. Toyotas 1, 2, and 3. Drivers out after what we just saw, Harrison Langford and Trent Dunham. And I was actually thinking back. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Harrison Langford got involved in the first caution of the Truck Series race too, and it was over in turn 1. So Kansas turn 1 has not been kind to that rookie this weekend so far. Certainly hope it's going to be good to him tomorrow. He's poised for an opportunity to get into the chase in Snickers Cup. Lyndon Wright is going to restart in 4th. 5th place is going to be George Roque. Then it's Jessica Shelton. Anthony McCrary actually came out 7th. Dylan Young 8th. Teammate Cassandra Renzi back in 9th. And 10th place is Jake Rogers as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Kansas on lap 10 of 27. 18 to go. Lap machines will not come into play, at least for the top 3, now 4, now 5, now 6, as they're very easily making their way around the wounded machines of Mason Wood and Dylan Poteet. And Sanford trying to open up a little bit of daylight between himself now and Levi McIntyre. Now McIntyre, I believe, no he hasn't. I thought he had gone to victory lane earlier on this season, but he hasn't. As a matter of fact, all 3 of those Toyotas, Sanford, McIntyre, and Schwallenberg, have not yet been to victory lane this season. Back here we got a battle going on. Apparently Dylan Schwallenberg did not get a good start. Lyndon Wright already went by him. George Roque already went by him. And you got to assume by the way that the 43 and the 7 are cutting their way through these guys that they went with 4 tires. And these other 3 that I saw come off pit road really quickly, they went with only 2 tires. And that fresh rubber definitely comes into play. Here comes Dylan Young in the 30 machine. This is the first time in quite a while we've seen Dylan Young up at the front in a Mobil1 Cup Series race. He won the race to start off the season at Daytona. Since then, he's found himself down in 23rd in points. Now, if he could win here today, that'd be 5 valuable bonus points for him and a spot into the chase for the championship. So far, he is not mathematically eligible to make it into any chase this season. He missed the Truck Series chase yesterday. He's not mathematically eligible to win to get into the chase in the Snickers Cup tomorrow. And same here in Mobil. Trying to win here today or maybe use the LCQ, I don't know. But right now we got a new leader. Lyndon Wright in the 43 is leading the way. Right now, that Flying J Ford Mustang looking pretty good. He's been good the past couple of weeks as Lyndon Wright. He was good at Charlotte and he was pretty good last week at Pocono too. He continues to lead this event here, and right now, Lyndon Wright, who actually, if I remember correctly, was actually up inside the top 10 in points near the beginning of this season, and then stuff started happening that caused him to not finish as well. He fell down outside the top 20. He's now up 18th in points, but Lyndon Wright started out the season really, really well. But he's got Dylan Young right behind him. Dylan Young, as I said before, hasn't been to victory lane since Daytona to start off this season. And Dylan Young right now trying to get a good run here. It's been surprising. We've seen the Turner Scott Motorsports cars up here at the front a lot. We've seen Dylan Young up here. We've seen Cassandra Renzi, James Silverfox. Henry Nova's actually been putting together some good runs. But between the 4 of them, they only have 1 victory, and that's James Silverfox's win back at Pukekohe. So a bit surprising fact there is behind them, Jessica Shelton Had a great run in the race at Charlotte, and she ended up just barely missing out on her second career Mobil1 Cup Series win to Harrison Langford. She's running well here in the third position, and right behind her is Cassandra Renzi, the rookie points leader. Now, Renzi's not locked into the chase yet, but with where she and Dylan Schwallenberg right now are both running, they're making a case for themselves to make this chase. And it would, for both of them, be their first Mobil1 Cup Series chase for the championship. As Schwallenberg, he's going to close up here on the Brandt Chevrolet Camaro, and he's looking for a spot here in fourth position. Pole sitter George Roque still running the top 10 there, right behind Jake Rogers. Charles Samper right there as well. He's now slipped back, I believe, the 8th position. Anthony McCurry right now in 9th, and there's Levi McIntyre in 10th. Sean Henley runs in 11th. 12th place, Zach Campbell. He just made the Truck Series chase yesterday. Kyle Matthews there, same for him. He just made the chase yesterday in the trucks. He's got Andy Timmons to his inside. There's Jacob Lawler. We know he's going to be a chaser in the Truck Series Championship hunt as well. He's 14th, and Ian Dutta just moved by the points leader Sean Galligan for the 15th position. There's James Qualls, one of those drivers who hasn't yet clinched himself a spot in the chase, but he's 18th right now. And he's ahead of drivers such as Bob Jones, Cody Lamas, Austin LaPlante, who are trying to knock him out of the top 10 in points, so that's at least a good thing for him. He's actually now in 20th place. Let's find where Austin LaPlante is gone. There he is. LaPlante in the 6th, way back in the 34th position. Now LaPlante is definitely going to want to get going here because he's 9th in points. And let's see, he came into this race 5 points ahead of James Silverfox. If Silverfox is running 29th or better, LaPlante's in trouble. As Silverfox is picking up spots, he's up to 26. So right now, if Austin LaPlante doesn't get something going soon, James Silverfox is going to be in the chase, and Austin LaPlante is not going to be in the chase. Let's see where Kyle Corbett's running. 12th in points. Well, he's got that damage from the earlier incident, and he is 37th. So his potential hope for making the chase is over. How about Chris Washer in the 14? We're trying to see a couple of our long shot drivers here. There he is, 24th, working his way underneath last week's winner, Cody Lamas. He needs to run a lot better than that, though. He's running only a few spots ahead of James Silverfox, and he comes in 16 points behind James Silverfox. So that's definitely not going to get it done for Chris Washer. So right now, I would say that the best battle at the moment that we're watching is James Silverfox versus Austin LaPlante. Silverfox now in 28th, Austin LaPlante still in 34th. And where's Bob Jones? There he is, 38th place right now. Now what he's got to hope is that Austin LaPlante isn't going to bypass him in standings, and right now being 38th and LaPlante running in 34th, that's only 3 points separating Austin LaPlante and Bob Jones. Right now Austin LaPlante still would not be in the chase, as they're going to go 4 wide up ahead of him there. Jake Cole got kicked out of the groove. Joshua Michaels, Tanner Sullivan, James McLeod all going to make it by him. Now Joshua Michaels right now, he's basically out of it, I would say, with the fact that these drivers have still been able to run and not wreck. So a tough break for Michaels. He apparently will not battle it out for the Mobil1 Cup Series Championship, but we're getting down to crunch time, and apparently these drivers are sensing it up here at the front. Henley 3 wide with Charles Samper and Jessica Shelton, Anthony McCurry, George Roque, Andy Timmons, Zach Campbell, they're all in the mix here. As up here at the front, Lyndon Wright has been bypassed for the lead. Now he's getting hounded for second. It's Dylan Young leading the way. So right now, Dylan Young is out in front and in charge, but he's got some drivers up ahead of him that are off the pace. 39th, Mason Wood, and 40th, Dylan Poteet. Are they going to let Dylan Young on by, or are these other guys behind him going to catch him? Right now, Lyndon Wright in second, Schwallenberg third, Renzi fourth, and Jake Rogers has now moved up to fifth. This is his best run since Rockingham, UK. And oh boy, Dylan Young's getting held up here. Lyndon Wright's coming. Here comes Schwallenberg, and there's going to be a big bunch up here at the front. I don't like the way this is looking. Finally, Dylan Poteet moves out of the way. Dylan Young will bypass, but Lyndon Wright's just gotten held up on the high side, and so did Cassandra Renzi. So now the top 5 has completely changed hands. It's now Dylan Young, Schwallenberg, Jake Rogers, Henley now up into 4th. He's now looking for 3rd underneath of Jake Rogers, and Cassandra Renzi now has gotten by into the 5th position. 2 to go for Dylan Young. If Dylan Young wins this race, he's going to be in the chase for the championship. Not via wildcard spot, but via winning here at Kansas, as voted by you, the NNSCRA Universe. Right now, though, Dylan Young trying to go to victory lane for the first time since the start of the season at Daytona. Dylan Schwallenberg, former winner in the Snickers Cup Series this season, but hasn't been to victory lane yet in a Mobil1 Cup Series event. He wants to get 5 valuable bonus points, as it looks like he's definitely going to make the chase. But the white flag is in the air for Dylan Young. One more time, can Dylan Young do it? We told you before, Dylan Young was not mathematically eligible to make any chase this year. Trucks, Mobil, or Snickers. That could change today as Henley's going underneath of Dylan Schwallenberg. That's for 2nd. Up front, though, Dylan Young. Since Daytona, he hasn't been to victory lane. That will change today. Dylan Young comes out of turn 4 for the final time. He will win here today at Kansas in the Kelloggs Corn Flakes 350. And Dylan Young has made the Mobil1 Cup Series chase for the championship. And we got to see here, where did Silver Fox finish? 25th. In order for him to be in the chase, with him finishing in 25th, Austin LaPlante has to finish in 30th or worse. Did LaPlante get it? He finished 31st. Which means that Silver Fox was at least 2 points up on him. So this is going to be huge, folks. Is LaPlante going to be able to defend his title, or has he missed it? I don't know, but we're going to find out in a few moments. But Dylan Young is going to be in the chase. We know that for a fact. And I'm pretty sure with the good run Cassandra Renzi has, she'll be in the chase. Let's take a look and see who else ended up making it. We know Galligan, Rogers, Walker, Renzi, and Dylan Young so far are going to be in the chase. I wouldn't be surprised if Schwallenberg will be in the chase as well with his 3rd place run today. Looking further down here for more of the chasers. Sean Galligan was 15th, but he was already locked in. Same for Luke Walker. James Qualls in 19th. Now, I think that may be good enough for him to make the chase. We'll find out. Looking further down here, there's Silver Fox 25th. Cody Lamas 26th, but he finished ahead of Austin LaPlante, so I think that'll keep him in the chase. And Bob Jones finished 38th. Now, let's see, how far ahead of Austin LaPlante was he? He was 7 points ahead, and he finishes only 7 points behind. Ooh. Bob Jones, if he could be the one that falls out. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close between Silver Fox, LaPlante, and Bob Jones as to who's going to make this chase. And Madison Sieber came in 4th in points. She finishes the day out in 34th place, last car in the lead lap. She may be in the chase. She may have had a little bit of a cushion to work with, but we'll have to find out at the end of the day here as you take a look at the rest of your finishing results. 2 drivers finished out of the race, and they were, of course, Harrison Langford and Trent Dunham. But Dylan Young is going to be in the chase. We know for certain Sean Galligan, Zach Rogers, Luke Walker, Cassandra Renzi, James Qualls, and probably Dylan Schwallenberg as well are all going to be locked into the chase. Question is, though, what about those other drivers? Where do they stand in this situation? We'll find out in a moment. Here comes your official full finishing results, and we'll be back to reveal to you your Season 7 Mobil1 Cup Series chase field. And as you take a look here at the remainder of your finishing results, I'll tell you, before we get here to the point stands, as you'll see your rookie points beforehand, this is probably one of the closest battles that we've had this entire season as far as chase is concerned. It wasn't too terribly close in trucks, and I don't think it's going to be that terribly close in Snickers, but we'll have to see. But this one was really close here in Mobil. As you finish looking at your rookie points, let's take a look now at what the standings would look like if the chase did not happen yet. The overall standings: Sean Galligan, Zach Rogers, Luke Walker, they basically remain the same. They're locked in. Cassandra Renzi, she is 4th in points. She worked up 1 spot in the standings, I think. She was 4th, so she's locked in. Dylan Schwallenberg, he ends up finishing top 5. He's 5th in points. He's in. James Qualls, 6th in points, is in. Cody Lamas, that win last week apparently really helped him another good run today, and he gets 7th. He's in the chase. Madison Sieber, she dropped, I believe, 4 spots in the standings, but she still hangs on to be in the top 10. She'll get into the chase. James Silverfox, remember we told you that he finished just a little bit ahead of Austin LaPlante, and he could have worked his way into the top 10 in points. He did. He's 9th in points, so he's locked into the chase. And then take a look at 10th. Bob Jones and the defending champ, Austin LaPlante, tied with 469 points apiece. So what does this mean? It means that Bob Jones and Austin LaPlante both, due to being tied, are both credited with being 10th in the standings, and both of them are going to be in the chase for the championship. So bad day for both of them. Still, they're able to just barely squeak into this season's chase. Dylan Young, of course, he's going to get into the chase because of winning today's event. And here's an interesting thing too. Drew Austin, he is the first 2-time winner in the standings. He's 24th in points, so he gets the first wildcard spot. Who do you think gets the second wildcard spot? Believe it or not, 22nd in points, our winner from the Milwaukee Mile, Andy Timmons, is the highest running of one-time winners this season, and he's going to be making his first career Mobil1 Cup Series chase for the championship. So right now, we got ourselves 15 drivers who are locked into the chase this season. We'll have 16 after the Talladega LCQ. Take a look at the rest of your standings, your overall standings. You'll see names like Dylan Young, Drew Austin, Andy Timmons there, but they will not be in the running order of the standings as far as overall standings next week, as they'll be in this thing. The chase grid has been put together now. Sean Galligan and Cody Lamas with 2 wins apiece. They are up at 1,010 points apiece. Now, I gotta explain one thing about Dylan Young. He's a 2-time winner, but his win today does not count for 5 bonus points towards the chase. However, he did have 1 win at Daytona, so that he does get credited with 5 bonus points there. Because normally, whoever wins this race, if it's their first win of the season, they start out with just 1,000 points. They don't get the 5 bonus points. But due to the fact that Dylan Young did have a win earlier on this season before his win here today at Kansas, he does get credited with 5 bonus points towards the chase. He's joined by Zach Rogers, Luke Walker, James Qualls, Silver Fox, and LaPlante as one-time winners this season. Cassandra Renzi there in 9th. 10th, Dylan Schwallenberg. Sieber in 11th. Bob Jones 12th. And then, of course, our 2 wild card spot drivers, Drew Austin and Andy Timmons. I don't think Timmons even thought he was in contention, probably. I certainly didn't. And all of a sudden, there he is, up there in the chase for the championship. But, folks, that is the way that your chase looks heading into next week. We still got a Snickers Cup Series chase to put together, and hope you're tuning in for that. As you've been watching the production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best. See you guys next week.